Today's flight, Hallock, Minnesota. We're taking a Cessna 205. A friend of mine, Mike, has sold, and we're going to deliver it to the new owner today. So this is about a 1,100 mile trip. I don't know if this will be a 1-day trip, 2-day trip, however long it takes to get there. Before I do anything, this old Cessna 205 had been sitting for quite some time, so there were a few items on the pre-flight that needed some special attention before we took off on our 1,100 mile journey. But after airing up the tires, working with a weak battery, and getting some water out of the fuel, we were good to go. Alright, so in case you've never seen, this is what water looks like in your fuel. If you can see the bubble down there, that's water in the fuel. So that's why we sump our tanks. Still a little water. No water. Clean fuel. That's good. Alright, pre-flight's done. We've checked the fuel, we've checked the oil, we're ready to head out. I'm thinking maybe a 2.5 hour leg, which is very conservative fuel-wise, but I just want to see how she performs. This plane hasn't flown in a while. So we'll get up, get to cruise, fly for 2.5 hours, and then we'll put down for lunch. Stay tuned.
Well, here we are in the 205. Pre-flight's complete, pre-taxi check complete. We're heading out. Our winds are 260, so runway 25 will be the runway of choice. We've got a brief little taxi, give us a little time to let the engine warm up. A good thing to do on these big bore Continental engines is give them time to warm up and give them time to cool down. That can save you a lot in maintenance cost. You can do this by, if you have a short taxi, maybe sitting at the end of the runway for a moment, letting the engine come up to temperature. Doing a nice, thorough, long run-up could also help. And when you're coming into land, give yourself time to bring your power down. Don't do it all at once. Bring your power back over some time. Let the cylinders cool down before you go all the way to idle. Hot here. 042 departing runway 25, roll.
Here is 8 miles northeast of the field.
We're leaving the North Georgia mountains.
Runway 36, Auburn.
Nashville, Cessna 83042, about 20 miles east of the field.
Cessna 83042, Nashville, same request.
Yes, sir, we'd like VFR flight following to Echo Victor Victor, 4500 please. We're a Cessna 205.
What's your cruising altitude going to be?
4,500.
Alright, 83042, squawk 5675 and ident.
5675, ident, 042. Alright, so we're cruised out here at 4,500 feet. We are showing an hour and 57 minutes to our destination. Cruising at about 120 knots. Not too bad for an airplane that's almost half a century old. I just heard a PIREP. It was 56 knots. Winds were out of the west at 56 knots, and that was at 5,000 feet. So it's 25 knots on the ground. It's about a 30-mile-an-hour wind, maybe a little more.
Cessna 83042, advise Evansville Airport, sights 11 o'clock, 9 miles.
Yes, sir. Field in sight, 042.
Cessna 042, roger, contact tower now, 118.7.
Over to tower, 187, 042. Tower 83042 is set up for left downwind, 22.
Here, 83042, Evansville, tower, runway 22, clear to land, wind 210 at 20, gust 25.
22, clear to land. Ladies and gentlemen, we've started our final descent to Evansville, where we have a clear sky, a beautiful 73 degrees. See if we can get this Centurion down on the ground.
Wind 23023.
Yeehaw. My airspeed right now on this landing is 100 knots. and my ground speed is 59. Just get her straight, put her down.
Number A3042, you taxiing in Tri-Civic?
Affirmative.
Taxi part of the Alpha Golf, cross runway 27, hold short runway 18.
Alpha Golf, cross 27 and hold short of 18042. Alright, that was quite the taxi instruction, so I'm going to just pull up my diagram, verify this before I go. Welcome to Evansville, Indiana.
Alright, so we made it to Evansville, Indiana. We're here in the pilot's lounge. So my plan is charge up my iPad, make sure that my next segment of the trip is downloaded and I have all the proper maps and everything. So get everything charged up, and in the meantime I'm going to see if I can find something to eat around here in Evansville, Indiana. Stay tuned. So here's our hot rod car we get. It's actually a pretty nice car. What is this thing? It's actually pretty nice. A Nissan. I don't know, but here we go. After a short stop in Evansville, the plane and pilot were both fueled up, and we were ready to make our next stop, which was Dubuque, Iowa. This is about a 3-hour leg from where we were, and the sun was already starting to sink low, so we didn't have much time to waste. Nah, it's more like this.
3042, maintain VFR at or below 2000, expect highway departure. Departure frequency 127.35, squawk 6705.
Alright, that's at or below 3000, departure frequency 2735, 6705, and at or below 2000.
Number 042, read back correct, contact tower 118.7 for taxi.
187 for taxi. Alright, time now is 5 o'clock, 4:55, so we'll call it 5 o'clock. Mags are good, prop cycle's good, engine instruments are all good. We're ready to rock and roll. Evansville Tower 83042, ready for takeoff, runway 18.
Runway 3042, fly runway heading, runway 18 clear for takeoff.
Fly runway heading, runway 18 clear for takeoff, 83042. Goodbye, Evansville.
Number 042, contact departure.
To departure, good day, sir. Evansville departure 83042 is out of 800, looking for on course.
Cessna 83042, Evansville departure, radar contact. Climb request out to expect an on-course turn here in about 3 miles.
Copy, 042, up to 2000.
November 83042, turn right on course.
83042, right on course. Alright, so here's downtown Evansville, right on the river.
Station 3, Christian 32, Alpha Charlie, Evansville departure, squawk 4275.
Pretty cool place to be. Evansville, Indiana, on the river. And for 042, did you give us to requested altitude?
Number 042, affirmative.
I've been flying for several hundred miles out of Evansville, Indiana, and pretty much right away out of the airport, I hit the Midwest cornfields of this great country we live in. As I fly over, I just want to try to share this with you all. I see these farmers down here, and they're harvesting their corn this time of year. And for literally hundreds of miles, as far as you can see, is cornfields. Here's someone on a tractor now. You can see him stirring up the dust. I'll try to zoom in with my camera. Not every day you're able to come up in the air can observe contrails on the ground, but that's just what's happening today. But as I fly over these ranches, they're spread out so far, literally miles between each one. And you can tell these people farm the land. And it's really a humbling thing to fly over it and see it from a bird's eye view. How these farmers create a home, they have their silos on their property, they work hard, they make this country go around. God bless the American farmer.
Tower Cessna 83042, 5 mile final, 31.
042, runway 31, clear to land.
31, clear to land, 042.
This will be our stop for tonight. The sun's sinking low. We made it just before sunset. Worked out perfect. Lots of bugs on the windshield.
Dubuque, Iowa. This is where we'll be spending the night. So I plan to get here just before sunset, and that's exactly what happened. As you can see, it's sinking low. Now we need to get an Uber, which will take us to our Airbnb. And so day 2, we're heading out of Dubuque, Iowa. Ceilings are kind of low this morning, 1,500 foot ceilings, maybe 2,000. 2,000 would be better. Like I said, I'm trying to keep this plane VFR the whole time. We don't want to go into clouds, and we don't want to go too low, because obviously we have obstacles to worry about. All right, so we're in the pilot's lounge once again at DBQ, looking to head out, and it looks like most of the ceilings have lifted to over 2,000 feet, so that's a good thing. We're gonna go out, hit up a quick pre-flight, make sure our fuel's topped off, get this thing back in the air.
Back at it. Got about 2,000 foot ceilings. Should be able to maintain VFR below the clouds. It's already breaking up some, so that's a good thing too. Keep heading north towards the Canadian border.
Dubuque ground, Cessna 83042 with India, like VFR departure to the northwest, please.
042 Dubuque ground, roger that. Are you over at the SBO?
Affirm.
042, runway 31, taxi alpha.
31 via Alpha, 042.
Magnetos check good. Cycle the prop. Make sure we got good oil flow. No oil comes out onto the windshield. Flying over those cornfields yesterday, I had to clean all the bugs off the windshield. I could barely see out of it. Alright, engine instruments. Cylinder head's still coming up. Oil pressure's pretty high. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to let the engine warm up a bit before we leave. So these big bore Continentals, we talked a little bit yesterday about bringing them up to temperature slowly.
Back runway 31, taxi alpha.
And bringing them down from operating temperature slowly. So right now my cylinder head temperature is now in the green. Oil pressure starting to come down. But as you can see, we had a short taxi, so you wouldn't want to blast off right away. You're heating up the engine way too fast, and it's cold. It's just not good. Probably nothing's going to happen on this flight, but as far as engine longevity goes, it's not something you want to do. So we'll let it warm up here just a minute. So obviously, if you're really cold on your cylinder head temperature, you're cold on your oil temperature, you will see your oil pressure high. So we're letting these two come up, and the oil pressure will come back down. The cylinder head temp's going up, oil temp's going up. Just what we want to see.
Tower 83042, ready for takeoff, 31.
042 to be Terra, runway 31, clear for takeoff, on course.
Clear for takeoff, 83042, runway 31, on course.
Just like that, we're on our way. We have light rain showers. Here we go. made it. We're on a short approach here to runway 31. We'll be on the ground and plane to the new owner in just a few minutes.
Here's George, the new owner.
All
What do you
right.
think? You happy with it so far?
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's a Cessna.
Big, beautiful plane. It's basically Suburban with wings.
Right on.
Yeah. Mission accomplished. You could tell by that smile George couldn't be happier to finally have his new airplane safe and at home in Hallock, Minnesota. Now it was time for me to head to Fargo, North Dakota, where I would spend the night and catch a commercial flight out the next morning. George is generous enough to take me down to Fargo. That's where we're going, right?
Yeah, we're going to Fargo, North Dakota.
We're out here in the middle of nowhere. You saw some of the beautiful lands. We were flying over all the fields and the corn and all the different farmlands, and that's what George was saying here, that he needs it to get around because everything's so far away. We're, 2 hours from Fargo.
Right.
So to catch a flight out of here commercial, you're looking at least a 2-hour drive, right?
Right, yep. Yeah. It's 70 miles to the nearest Walmart. So we're up on the Canadian border.
Yeah. I believe it was like 14 miles or something, right?
Right.
Yeah. So what do you want to do with this 205?
I'm a millwright. I own a construction company, a general contractor. And out here in the tundra, sometimes you have trouble finding help, to build my project. So
Yeah.
So the 205's got a 1,550 pound payload. So when I need help, what I'll do is go to other small towns where I know other construction companies, and I'll take their crew for a day. And you would call it day labor. Now, if I'd asked them to come out, if they'd drive out, it wouldn't work because a lot of times it's 4 to 6 hours of driving, and you wouldn't get more than 4 or 5 hours worth of work in. But if I fly to their hometown, and there's airports all over, they just meet me at the airport. We fly them to the job site. We work them 10 hours and fly them home. In my old age, I kind of like doing it this way. When I need labor, I go get it. And when I'm done with them, fly them home. It gets pretty cold here in North Dakota. I don't want to be running any projects in the middle of winter.
Right.
It can get 30, 40 below at times.
Wow. All right. So we made it to our apartment for the night. We're in Fargo, North Dakota. George drove us down. Pretty cool place. I try to use Airbnb instead of just your normal Comfort Inn or your Holiday Inn. This is kind of cool. You get to see these places that people put their own little touch on. Both of the apartments that we've stayed in on this trip have been kind of a sub-underground type place, or in a basement. Pretty swanky. Day 3. The plan was to head over to the airport, board my plane in Fargo, catch a connecting flight in Chicago, and ultimately end up in Atlanta. But during the pushback, I noticed a showstopper out on the wing. Ice. But that would be no issue thanks to the ground crew and the de-ice truck. So as they were de-icing, I was able to capture some cool footage out the window, put some music to it. Here you go. Hope you enjoy. last. Well, almost home. We have about an hour and a half drive, but we're on the ground. Last leg's done. We're back in Atlanta. Just gotta wait on our ride. Might actually be here any minute. So, successful trip. We got the plane to its new owner George, and we're back home. So get a ride back up to Ace headquarters. We'll call it a day. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, hit that thumbs up. Be sure to subscribe to our channel. You can also check us out on Facebook at Ace Aviation Services. And if you're interested in learning how to fly, visit us on the web at learntoflywithace.com. See ya.